Good afternoon and welcome to the Animest Day 7. In the morning we discussed with directors from the Romanian competition that was screened last night in the cinema in Elvira Popescu. And now it's 1 p.m, so good afternoon. And as you might know from yesterday, from 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. we had the discussion with our special guests. And I'm glad that Melody, our special guest and the jury member of this year's festival's edition for long films, could make it to Bucharest. And she is here with us. And we are starting to discover her work and her career, of course. So Melody, welcome to Bucharest.
Bună ziua. Hello, thank you for the invitation. May I?
So let's start to speak about you.
I'm Mélody Boulissière. I'm a film director in animation. I finished my school 5 years ago now, and I already done 4 movies, including my graduate film. I really like to use traditional techniques and traditional animation, mostly paint on glass, cut out paper, cut out photographs, and what else?
Yeah, let's start with the beginning of did you know that you want to do animation and go to that school?
Okay, I didn't know I want to do animation actually. I really liked the comics and narration and when I was a teenager and kid. And I heard about this school, École Nationale des Arts Décoratifs, also called ENSAD.
But the high school, it was art?
Yes, I went in high school for applied arts, so I already discovered architecture, design, everything, and I knew I want to continue in these things. So I get to ENSAD, and over there are 10 fields, including illustration, film and video, animation, but I choose animation because I really like drawing and I really like cinema, and I thought it's a perfect combination. But at the beginning, I wasn't a big fan of animation. I just
came out.
It came out by not by force, but with time. Yes.
And in ENSAD, how was they are like specialized in some kind of animation or style of animation?
It's very free, actually.
Because in France there are a lot of schools of animation.
Yeah.
And some of them they are concentrate on the CG. Some of them like. How is it in ENSAD?
In ENSAD, it's very free, and in 1 week we have only. It was like that before. I don't know if it's still like that, but we had only 2 days per week concentrate for animation. And it was a lot of experimentation. We never learn a technical animation. Mm-hmm. It's a very free school. It's also why I choose this field, because I thought it's more open to every technique, to photography, to video, to drawings, So I feel I can explore a lot of things and experiment. And so some students concentrate on paint, as I did. Some students concentrate on drawing on paper, but it's often very traditional, and yes.
Mm-hmm. Good. And yeah, how was the film that you did in school?
I didn't make a lot film at school because, as I say, we just had 2 days the week working on it. So, but the first film I did, it was with a rostrum camera, directly under the camera with paint, and I discovered that I like animation because until that experience, I just drew on paper, and I didn't really like it at the beginning. As soon as I discovered that, I thought, okay, it's my thing. I will do that all the time.
And how was it? What was the name of the?
It was more an assignment, so it's something on my Vimeo if you want to see it. It's called Torneolven. It was more an excuse to discover this rostrum camera and this paint, and yeah.
And then you had to have the graduation.
And then I directly jumped to the graduate film, and I had the impression that it's the first time I'm doing a film, because I was working with my own story, and it was not easy, because you have 1 year to do a movie, and when it's the first time, it's a bit complicated, but I handle it, and doing this film, I thought, okay, it's my thing. I want to do more animation. I want to learn more about the industry and how is it in this business.
Yeah. And how did you work with your colleagues? How is it in ENSAD? How was it in school?
It's very in ENSAD we don't work with in team. It's very rare. It's more a proper project. So I did everything alone, and that's why we are not a good technician when we get out, because we don't know how to work in team. So yeah, I just do it alone.
Yeah, and you or the school send it to festival?
Actually, the school is supposed to send the film to the festival, but they don't do it very well until Cannes asks them the film. The Cannes Film Festival asks to the school, "Can we have your film, please?" Not the inverse. So I think now it's better in ENSAD. And yes.
And when you found out that your film will be there,
so my film got selected to Cinéfondation at Cannes Film Festival, so it's only the section for student film. And it was, I think I heard about it 6 months later. I've done the film, and I never opened my film again. It was finished, and so yes, I didn't really understand if it's right, if it's true that my film is in Cannes, because I did it alone in the basement of the school, and so what was the question?
No, how was the experience? Being selected in Cannes as a student?
Yeah.
It's a very nice beginning of career.
Yes. So it's a selection with other film, also fiction film, not only animation. So how was it? It was really nice to meet all of the directors from all over the world, because there were guys from India, from Venezuela, from everywhere, all students, all very impressed to be at Cannes. I think it's good for put on your folder later, but it's also more pressure, because after you think, okay, my first film get to Cannes, I have to do a good movie now. But it puts a bit of pressure on it.
Yeah.
But of course, it was an incredible experience to be invited there for a few days. We went to eat at Carlton Hotel. This kind of experience, but in terms of industry, over there it's very hard to meet someone, and animation is not really present. And also, when you are French, as there are a lot of French films, no one cares about your film when you are students. If you maybe from a country where the industry is very little, the press will be crazy with you, and you're gonna it's. But for I never had a contact after that in relation with this film, but it was good for the festival because of Cannes, a lot of festivals select my film. Yes, for that is cool. Yeah,
it's always like this.
Yeah.
So you didn't have like 10 contracts from Hollywood and on your TV series, and
No.
it wasn't Netflix that time, I think. Netflix doesn't exist when your film was.
No, yes,
so.
it doesn't exist. No.
Yeah, and then what was your next steps after the graduation film?
Actually, when I was doing the film, I thought, okay, I really want to do animation, but I realized that I don't know how to do a film, so it's complicated. So I heard about a school in south of France called La Poudrière, and it's a school in 2 years where you are doing just film, animation film. You really concentrate about how to direct a movie, how to direct a team, how to respect schedules, how to. It's
production.
It's very clear for production. You don't learn how to animate; they already.
You have to know like before.
Yeah, you have to know already how to do. You need to know how to animate or to have some experience, but not. I never done a normal film and short movie. And I really enjoy the school. I learned a lot. We concentrate about storyboard, about scenario also, because in ENSAD we never talk about scenario, and I never did an animatic. So in this school we had a schedule and we had to respect it. This is the time for the story, this is the time for the storyboard, for the animatic, everything was clear. And also we had semester dedicated for TV series, what is a TV series, how we develop a TV series, and that was really new for me. I didn't expect I will be interested about TV series.
Good. So practically you finished ENSAD, and then you were looking for some more to learn, another school like for production in itself.
Yeah, and also just to know more the market and to know more how it works and how to get money for a film or to get a producer. In this school, you really learn all of that. You are directly in contact with producer and with distributor, and you discover all of the job of the industry. And
because it's interesting to know then what your ex-colleagues from ENSAD did after the school. Because you're supposed to get a job after you finish a school, not to go to another school to find a job.
Yes, so Inès Patron from ENSAD speaks yesterday, and she said that the best thing is to jump directly in your own project and try to develop your own story, because it can be hard to find a job if you are not a good technician, or you find a job but it will be more for proposed to it, just a bad job. There is not bad job, but just technical on After Effects or this kind of thing. And what they did, some of them became more artists in a way. They do some exhibitions and they find stuff, or they do commercial things, and
And in your case, you did commercial stuff?
Not a lot, almost never. I didn't have time. I went to school, and after I worked, and I did a film for TV. It was between commercial and between personal film. Yes.
Okay.
But only one.
Yeah. And how did you start your first professional?
So my first professional project, it's a project I'm doing now, but I have been working for 6 years on it, but not consecutively.
Yeah, but that's your personal project, but
Yeah.
your first professional, I mean, in teams.
Sorry. Yeah, it was very
And
little.
we will get to your
Last one. Yeah, so this project for the TV, yes. It was for France Télévisions in France, and it's a 3-minute film adapted from a poem. And you work almost alone. At some point, you can have some help for animation. So I cannot say that it's a big team, because I still have the impression that I'm doing my film alone again. But it was cool as soon as everything is organized and you have a producer who is telling you have to do that, it has to be finished at this date. It's clear and it's easy because you have a deadline.
Yeah, that's interesting to know about what was the jump from your stuff like in ENSAD, when you said it was like very free and everything, and when you had a producer and the deadline and a production timeline that you had to respect.
Yeah, but between I went to La Poudrière, and I think it helped me to respect the schedules and to know the industry, how this works, the relation with the sound design, with the actors also, and all the production and post-production.
And you work with some of your ex-colleagues from La Poudrière for the television series?
No. But I had just one animator for a few days, so it was a friend of friends. But no. But it's a collection of shorts, so other ones are directed by some colleagues from ENSAD and from La Poudrière also.
And now, when it was finished last year?
No, this is I finished La Poudrière 3 years ago now, so it was 3 years ago.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So it was during your.
No, it was just after.
Just after.
Yeah, I finished ENSAD in 2015. I finished La Poudrière in 2017.
3 years later, yeah.
Yeah, and after I did this movie in 6 months, 7 months, and yes.
And now about this one that is traveling now to festivals.
Yes, so after, when I was doing this film for the TV, I had the occasion to meet 2 other girls who I really admire their work, and we decided to work on a TV series project together. And it's an adaptation it's an adaptation of one of her film, of one of the girls that she did when she was a student, and I really liked it. And I told her, oh, we should do a TV series of that. And she told me, I don't know, I will think about it. And 3 days later, she came back and she said me, oh yes, I would like to do something talking about plants. So we made it. I can show some pictures.
Good.
And yeah, I forgot to show my other stuff.
But we can.
And so actually, it's a TV series project for kids, but now we finished a pilot, and it's also a short movie, and is in competition for children's in Animest this year. Yeah. And the entire series is talking about plants, and the first episode, this one is talking about dandelion. Yeah. And this is a little character called Patouille. Yes. And with his friends Momo, they discover the world of the plants. I can show you the. Maybe, no, I have a teaser.
Patouille.
Momo.
and I forgot to mention, but my co-directors called Inès, Bernard-Espina, and Clémentine Campos. And yes.
And what about the technique? Because you're, for example, the stuff that you did in ENSAD, it was really different, that this technique.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, at ENSAD I used mostly paint on glass. But at La Poudrière, I start to draw on paper also, to come back to paper. And at the end, for me, it's the same because it's all pastel. So it's still paint for me, and I like to work with traditional stuff. And it's also a project that we are doing in team, in group. So it's not my personal project, but I really enjoy it because we really want to talk about the plants for children, and we are very agree on this idea. So it's really, I'm really happy when I work on this project with them.
Which is very important for every film. You should be happy when you are.
No, but sometimes I feel lucky because I think it's rare to work with co-directors and to be agree all the time. And even if we are not agree, as we are two of us are agree and one is not agree. So it's
democratic.
And it's easy to find a solution because the two of us we choose all the time what they prefer.
Yeah, nice. And what?
It's just the technique, and it's not. And yeah. Just show.
And that's the pilot, yeah.
Yeah, that's the pilot. Sometimes in the pilot we work on the pilot like a short movie, but we know if the series will be done, we know that it will be impossible to do some stuff that we do now. For example, we add a lot of parachute seed like that in the movie. I don't have a picture here, but it's flying everywhere, and we did everything at the with end. But of course, for the series, this type of thing, we'll do it by computer. There are tools very. We will do the work faster than us, and also. Maybe we will reuse some animation also. And we are working on finding solution to adapt this to the TV series and to work fastly. Yeah.
But you are like in a stage of to script each episode. I mean, to have the script for it.
Not yet, because we are waiting for the answer to the broadcaster, and if they don't give us money, we won't write the series.
And for the broadcaster, for example, the producers submit this pilot only? I mean, or just...
We submit the entire series, and they told us we liked it, but it's very uncommon. We never do series with oil pastel or... So we think it's going to be hard to finance in a way, but we really liked it. So what we propose you is to give you money to do the first episode. And after, it's very rare because usually you develop the entire series, you write all of the script, and they say yes or no. But here they say yes for the first one. So we did it, and they liked it a lot, but we are waiting for an answer. And it's very long. And just for the first episode, it was also long. That's why between I'm trying to develop other projects.
Yeah. And how was it in? Because you said that you have like co-directors. You are free. You are free of you. Yeah. That direct all. You will direct all the series in case that will happen, right?
The idea is we would like to write ourselves the series. We try to not work with a scenarist. Maybe it will happen if we don't have enough time. And we already think to share some episode between us. And so if I write an episode about a specific plant, let's say a nut, I will direct it. But at each step, we discuss a lot and we give feedback to what we think about what the other did, and so we will try to direct our own episode, but still exchanging a lot to be sure that it will be an entire series that we feel it's the same series and we don't go in different direction.
And you said that you are actually 3 directors, 3 girls.
Yes.
How it was, or how it's your experience? Because we are in this edition dedicated to
it's cool.
Women directors.
It's cool. It's sometimes we had no, it's really cool. The experience is really cool. Really good. Our producer is very listening to us, and we don't have a problem, I think. But maybe why we are 3 and not 1. But we also try to change this mentality that there is one director. Sometimes some people think it's not possible to be 3 directors, but we think it is it, and it's more powerful, and we have better ideas, and we can find solutions fastly when we have a problem. And alone, there is more time passing because you need time to find another idea or to solve a problem. And so it's cool. Just one time we had a problem at one commission that before the commission, a guy from the commission called one of her, and he said, he asked, "But are you still a student? I don't understand." But we submit a folder with every information, and he asked us twice if we are still students. Why? This is because we are women, because we are doing film for kids, or what's the matter? Yes, just that. And at the end, they didn't support us. They said we were too long to answer to question. But we were 3 talking at different phones, not in the same room. So we were just waiting for being sure we can talk and not interrupt us. Yes, so just this kind of problem once, but otherwise.
But it's interesting how is the system in France for this kind of, when you pitch to some money for, in your case, for this television series. For example, in our case here in Romania and in some other places, in some other countries, we just submit a folder, a file actually with the script and everything, and nobody will like call us and to pitch it or to something. We just submit some papers and they will get an answer, I don't know, in 2-3 months or something like this. How is it in France?
It really depends on commissions. Most of the time it's like that. You just send a folder and you receive a yes or not. But for this commission, there were an interview. But by phone, because it was at the beginning only for the concept, and sometimes for the concepts that don't want directors to come, they think it's not necessary, so they just call. But most of the time it's by folder. Yeah.
Okay.
And for broadcaster, we don't have a lot of contact with them. It's more the producer.
The producer, yeah. So actually, the producer submits to all the television and to all the organism that can give you the money.
Yeah, exactly, but it didn't really send to whole television because we are working with the same broadcaster who already released my commission film for TV. So it's the same person, and they, from the beginning of the project, they knew we are doing it, and we had the chance that we didn't. It wasn't necessary to find a broadcaster because he was there from the beginning. We just have to wait commission, and we had to wait that this person convince all of his team inside the TV. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. And let's pass to your personal project.
Yeah, but I will maybe show quickly some frames from my previous project, like that maybe we can see the continuity.
Good.
I will show the trailer of my graduate film from ENSAD. Yeah, and some frame very quickly, but it's online on Vimeo, so if you want to see it, it's easy. Yeah, and
what your teachers said when they received the email from Cannes?
I received the phone call and the emails. They didn't receive. Yeah, the same congratulations. It was the first time a film from my school get to Cannes. Yes. Yeah, but it's also because they want a film. They want premiere, and it's happened that some other film was also good, but they had another selection. So yeah, and this after it's my second graduation film I did in La Poudrière, and I use only paint on glass with colors. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Hop. And I
And that you want to show about? Stills from that.
Yeah,
the La Poudrière.
It's from that film in La Poudrière, and it's painted on glass with layers. And I spent a lot of time to find the good solution to have the color I want and the light, and to how to use the light. And
but for this film, you work also alone, or you have your colleagues from La Poudrière?
I worked alone, and for a few days I had friends who come outside from the school, because we are in La Poudrière. We have the occasion we have a budget for the film, so we can pay some animator, we can pay people for the song and for the music.
And it doesn't have to be necessary from the school?
No, it's impossible from the school, because we are only 10 per class, and everyone is working on his own movie, so they cannot help us. Yes, and I had a friend who came for a few days to help me with the figurines. We say that? People who were in the background, yes.
Yeah, the characters. Yes.
The characters, yes. Yes. Et just the bon titre. Yes. This is it. And now I'm working on...
let's pass to your first personal project. And it will be a short film, actually.
Yeah, I'm working on a new short film. And it's based on on a story, on a love story will happen during the Second World War in the north of Romania, because I'm working with my partner who is Romanian, and he wanted to do a film about his grandmother love story. Yeah, I don't know if I can tell all of the story now, but
No.
but the guys. So she had a love story when she was young, and because of the war, his lover disappeared. He left for the war, and the guys came back 35 years later, knowing at his door, I am Jean, and so, and it's a grandmother of my partner, and
It was a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story, and he registered her, and the idea is to do a movie about her memories, and we have a voiceover. It's her voiceover, and we also use an archive of photo from.
And again, it will be other technique.
Yeah, it's another technique, but for me, again, it's a bit the same because it's still photographs with paint, so it's different, but still I use in paint, and yes. And what can I show?
And when you already started to work on this,
yeah,
you have the script, you have the story.
I'm working on the animatic. It's almost done, but 2 months it's almost done. I all the time want to change some stuff. My producer also. So we are not ready to jump into the production, but hopefully before the end of the year, I will start. More and more, I'm going inside. But it's not for me. It's the most complicated project I've done because first of all, it's 15 minutes, and 15 minutes, sorry, and we use a voiceover, so we cannot change all of the things we want because we want to keep something a bit fresh with the story of this old woman, and also we use an archive of photography. And this archive, it's all archive from a photographer called Costica Accente. It's a Romanian photographer, and he took a lot of pictures during the Second World War, and the pictures are amazing. I don't have here, but maybe if I tap on internet.
And you've been to the museum to...
Yeah, and because this photographer at the studio in this is an example. This is an example of the photography he made, and so he has a studio in a town called Slobozia in Romania, and
it's not so far from Bucharest. I think it's 60 kilometers or something.
Exactly, and the museum over there keep all of the collection, and we've been there and we took all of the picture in high quality on a hard drive because they had scanned every photographers. So I have 5,000 photos, and of course at the beginning I didn't know how to look for them, but now I found some solution, and I really try to use some characters from the photo to do the animation. But I don't want to do puppet animation. I don't want to cut out too much. So I just want to take these unmoving pictures, and when I want some movement, I want to animate in paint in between 2 photographies or more. So it takes time, but I will find.
And it will be kind of documentary or just the love story, like narrative?
It's really a mix between documentary, between fiction, between experimental. Sometimes there are some parts where I really want to use the degradation of the picture. They are here. Yeah, and I can show you some research, but I don't like every of them here, but it's in a process.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Yeah. this is just example.
De ce mă urmărești?
Oh, it's going too fast, man. And the idea is also to use the degradation from the picture to do some background, like here, for example. Yeah. But what I find now is I'm painting with acrylic directly on the pictures, and I shoot every pictures. This is the last thing I found. Yes.
It's also time consuming a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really like. Yeah, I really like when the pictures and the paint really mix together.
Good.
And during a lot of time, I try to do the paint separately and to put them together with the computer. But I was all the time disappointed by the mix, so I find it's better to print the photo and to paint on it.
But now how it will be, because it's a professional film already, and you will supposed to have a team. So you will have a team.
Yeah, I will have one animator. And for the compositing, we had a studio in Strasbourg. So this is really good because I know they will finish the frame of the look of the film. And they are doing a very great job. And for that, I'm not worried for the final compositing. For the team, it's not clear again because sometimes we don't have some budget or some money, so we had to adapt the plans. I will probably for the team now. I prepare a bit. For example, this is my background, but I will paint on it. Here I will finish the background. And I prepare some layouts like that with a pencil, and maybe they will animate in between, and I will paint on it later. It's just in work in progress also.
But how it will be, because in like a production-wise, you will do because you are here and the studio is in Strasbourg. And probably you have to go from time to time there.
Yeah, for the moment I'm working in north of Romania, alone at home. But I will see with internet
When you advance with the production, probably you have kind of.
But I also install a restroom camera. I made a studio over there, so it's step by step it's becoming bigger, and I will normally receive one animator from France in the north of Romania.
Good.
And I will also work with some people in Angoulême and in Strasbourg. It's very it's not gonna be at one place. We'll see, I will see how I manage.
It will be an experience.
I don't know everything yet. Yes.
But approximately, do you know when it's supposed to complete the production?
I hope in 1 year.
In 1 year?
Yeah. It's because it takes time to prepare everything, but the animation, as soon as everything is prepared, the animation it's going quite
smooth,
fast. It's okay. Yeah. And I already prepare a lot of stuff, and I already choose all of the pictures. So, yeah, I just have to go for it. Yeah.
Good. So, if there are questions for Melody, you can write in the chat or from the audience. If not, Melody.
Such a private story of the family of your partner? Because you work with the family footage, photographics, also from the museum, but of course there's like a lot of personal like a story behind. So is it like something which gives you even more inspiration, or something which blocks you?
Now I'm not thinking anymore about the fact that it's a family story from my partner, because I really try to do to disconnect this story, just to keep in mind a character and to give her some personality, and so I don't think of that. But for the archive of photo for the museum, it inspired me a lot, because sometimes I'm going through the archive and I make a connection between my story on my shoot and one picture, and I thought, oh, this is a good picture for this shot. So I really like to work like that also, to have some surprise from the archive, and some decision came because of the archive of the photography. Yes. Did I answer it? Okay.
And I forgot to ask you about the project. The dialogue will be in Romanian, yeah? All the dialogue.
Yeah, all the dialogue are in Romanian, because we keep the voiceover from the old ladies, and she speak Romanian, and also we gonna have some voice inside the movie, but just a little, and we will record some actors. But I think in one day we will do it in Bucharest.
Yeah. Some other questions from the audience or from online audience? If not, let's end it here. Mélody, thank you for coming.
Thank you
for sharing with us
invitation.
your stuff. And yeah, good luck with the project, and hope to screen it here next year.
Next year it's gonna be in 2 years, hopefully.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.